Georgian College News Network, Special Edition, Exploring Gender and Society. Today's segment challenges some of the ideologies prescribed to our social service worker students in the SSW program. Georgian College prides itself on being a safe space to explore ideas and engage in critical thinking. On this edition of Gcnn, we will look at some controversial issues and potential unintended consequences of well-intended advocacy when taken too far.
Good evening and welcome to Gcnn, where we bring you the latest news with a conservative perspective. Tonight, we're diving into a controversial and divisive topic that's been dominating headlines across Canada: the evolution of gender ideologies and their impact on our society. Let's take a closer look. In recent years, Canada has seen a significant shift in the conversation around gender. From the women's suffrage movement to the legalization of same-sex marriage, our nation has made strides toward equality. However, the rise of what some are calling extreme gender ideologies has sparked heated debates and concerns among conservatives.
While we all support equality, pushing for compelled speech and blurring biological realities are troubling. Policies like Bill C-16, which aims to protect gender expression, are seen by some as an overreach that could suppress free speech. I believe in free speech as long as it's not inciting violence or done out of hatred. This Bill C-16 could see someone imprisoned or fined for misgendering someone. There has to be a balance, and to me, it doesn't make any sense to take the rights away from the majority of the population to protect the feelings of an extremely small portion of the population. This is scary legislation that now expands the power of the government over the people to imprison them for anything they deem as offensive or hate speech, which is an ambiguous term that they have not defined.
The balancing act between transgender rights and women's rights is another flashpoint. In sports, for instance, the inclusion of transgender women has sparked debates about fairness and the integrity of women's competitions. And then there's the concern about the impact on safe spaces for women, with some arguing that inclusivity should not come at the expense of women's privacy and security. Amid these controversies, some fear that the push for extreme gender inclusivity could pave the way for a socialist communist state in Canada. Critics argue that focusing on collective identity over individual freedoms is a slippery slope towards Marxism. But how do we address these challenges without undermining the progress we've made? Experts suggest promoting open dialogue, ensuring diverse perspectives in policymaking, and finding a balance that respects the rights and dignity of all individuals. As we navigate these complex issues, it's clear that a one-size-fits-all approach won't work. The debate over gender ideologies in Canada is far from over, and it's a conversation that requires sensitivity, respect, and a commitment to finding common ground. Now, let's delve into a topic at the forefront of corporate and academic discussions: diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. As we navigate the complexities of gender ideologies, it's crucial to examine how DEI initiatives are shaping the conversation and the potential implications from a conservative standpoint. DEI programs aim to create more inclusive environments by addressing diversity and equity issues. However, some critics argue that these initiatives, particularly regarding gender, may prioritize political correctness over meritocracy and free speech.
While we support diversity, there's a concern that DEI efforts could enforce a narrow view of inclusion, one that silences dissenting opinions and imposes a specific ideology on everyone. With this government's extremist left policies, we are no longer able to hire based on a candidate's merit or ability to do the job. We are being forced to look at and evaluate potential hires based on the colour of their skin, their sexual preferences, their gender, and socio-economic status. What's even more frustrating is that we are not allowed to ask any of these personal identifiers, so what are we to do? Profile candidates based on how they wrote their application or what their name is. Interview everyone so we can profile based on their looks. It's complete madness. There are now legal consequences if we hire based on the qualifications and experience on someone's resume. And those candidates happen to be white males. I thought racism was discriminating based on someone's skin colour, but I guess this excludes white people somehow, and everyone celebrates it. I guarantee if you reverse these policies, swapping the word white for any other race, there would be an absolute uproar.
In the context of gender, this means that policies around pronoun use or gender identity, often championed by DEI programs, could conflict with individual beliefs or freedoms. The question arises, how do we foster true diversity of thought and respect for different perspectives? Statistics show that while many organizations have embraced DEI, there's still debate over its effectiveness and impact. Critics argue for a more balanced approach that values diversity in all its forms, including diversity of opinion. As the debate over gender ideologies continues, it's clear that DEI initiatives will play a significant role. The challenge for conservatives is to engage in these conversations constructively, advocating for an inclusive society that respects diversity of identity and thought. Stay with us for more in-depth analysis on this and other pressing issues.
Thank you for watching this edition of Georgian College News Network, exploring gender and society. Topics such as these can be difficult and uncomfortable to explore due to their complexity and nuances. However, academic institutions are held as a safe space to explore these ideas that must not be avoided, but should be approached with empathy and critical thinking, especially by students who will be entering the field of social service work. We would like to hear your thoughts on these issues and encourage you to engage in discussion with your classmates and professors. I will leave you with the words of Winston Churchill. Everyone is in favor of free speech. Hardly a day passes without its being extolled, but some people's idea of it is that they are free to say what they like, but if anyone says anything back, that is an outrage.